Hi guys, this is Dawn. I'm here in the field behind my father's house shooting this next video. And today we're going to talk about forgiving oneself and taking responsibility for your own life, for the past, present, and the future. All right. So as I said, I'm out here in the field behind my father's house wearing my Wellingtons. I don't know if you can see them. So as part of constructing, trying to create a new and better life for myself, I realized that I come to actually spend a lot of time being angry at people about something that happened in the past, and situations where I felt that that people hurt me or crossed my boundaries and said some, hurtful things to me, and which I felt was unfair. So, and these were usually, authority figures in my life, or people close to me. So, like the grown-ups and the adults in my family and my extended family, teachers, friends of the family, my siblings too, and also sometimes friends or just strangers I meet in the street. And all these scenarios that I play out, I started to wonder about them, that on a beautiful, perfect day walking along the beach, along the shoreline here, close by where my father lives, that I wouldn't even see the water or the sky. I would be so consumed in thinking about these situations and what happened, and if I met these people again or ended up in another similar situation, how I would react and what I would say. And I would just be, gone in that, disappear into it, and it would take up all the time walking, and it was such a shame. And I realized that I actually do that often. Then whenever I have a moment, my brain just starts running these old discussions and conflicts and reliving that hurt. And I feel the same, contraction in my body, and I feel, defensive. It's a way of defense mode, and it's not. That's the funny thing, right? Because it's not happening. It's something I replay or imagine in my head, and thereby I create the situation or recreate it in me, in my imaginary world. But if it affects me physically and mentally, I can feel the emotions and anger, hurt, all that, and I can feel what it does to my body. And I think I finally realized that I need to do something about that. And I wondered, why something that happened that long ago with people, some of these people are not even that close to me, and some of them I'm not particularly fond of, but why they could have such power over me, and these situations could have such power over me and continue to have, even years and years after they happened. And I wondered why I had that need to replay. I mean, what was my body and my mind trying to tell me during these reliving and trying to imagine how I would react in future scenarios or situations if they should if something similar should occur again, right? And I guess the point was that I didn't understand why I kept being so angry with these people, and why they were so important to me, that I let them have this importance, right? And then it dawned upon me that that anger and resentment and frustration I was feeling towards these people and these situations was actually the cover feelings for the anger and the sadness and the grief, I guess, that I felt towards myself. Because what this was really about was that I had been letting myself down by allowing these people to walk all over me and to not put up boundaries and speak my truth, my opinion, and not saying no to them in these situations. So what was really happening, and why I kept having all these replays and this defense mode, was all about me letting myself down. And it sounds really sad and really tough, but realizing that was the real reason behind all of this, thought patterns and replays, that actually gave me an enormous sense of relief and understanding of myself, and it made me able to change the situation, because I could then forgive myself for not being there for myself through all these years, not standing up for myself. And I knew I had to start by doing that, forgive myself and understand why I wasn't able to push back or say no to people, or not allow them to hurt me or walk all over me, and not put up, why I didn't even put up a fight. And I knew why I wasn't able to do it at the time. I understand why it was so difficult for me to stand up for myself. I used to have this blockage when it came to communication. I mean, whenever I would get in situations, for example, like these, I would choke up. It would be so difficult for me to speak, because I had so many thoughts and emotions racing through my body, and I didn't know how to express them, and I would just almost choke. I would feel my throat knotted up, right? I couldn't get a word over my lips, and I don't blame myself for what happened anymore. I know that a big part of this is actually about forgiving myself, but also taking responsibility for what happened. It happened because I didn't stand up for myself. I allowed it to happen repeatedly, and I have to own that and say that I have responsibility for that, and that's okay. It was my responsibility back then, and I wasn't able to, but it also means that it's my own responsibility now that it doesn't happen again. And now it's different, because now I'm a grown up. Now I feel much better about myself, and I think I would better be able to say no, put up my boundaries in realize that I'm not dependent on these people as I used to be. You know, that fear of being excluded from the family or social groups or whatever, and that fear of other people thinking ill of me, being mad at me. I couldn't stand that before. Today I don't really care. I don't need other people's approval to feel good or safe. And I don't want to compromise, you know, with myself in order to be accepted in social groups anymore, not to the same extent as before. I think that's actually quite healthy. I don't need people the same way I did when I was in my late teens, early 20s, right? So when I respond today, if people say something to me that I disagree with or that I find really hurtful, unfair, there's not so much at stake for me anymore, so I can just respond. I don't have to take that into consideration. So I can just stand up for myself now, and I really need to do that, and I really want to do that. And I guess that's another area of my life where I want to change, right? I want to allow myself to change, to be a person who stands up for herself and who can put up clear boundaries, you know, kindly but firm boundaries, kindly but firmly put up boundaries, so people don't walk all over me anymore. And I really look forward to that, working with that. But I also realize that it's a very old pattern of mine, and it's difficult to change. It's difficult to start behaving in another way. So I know it's something I have to play around with, I guess. And I have to experiment and try it out and practice, and it's okay to fail. But I'm also going to have fun with it and just allow it to grow and to build better experiences around this, right? I think another point is that by having all these replays and thinking about these people and how they hurt me, to continue thinking about them and the situations actually allow them to still hold some kind of power over me, right? And that's another thing I come to realize that I need to change, that I won't give these people power over me anymore. So I don't want to relive those situations and the feelings of powerlessness that these encounters with these people gave me. So another job or challenge, I guess, is to start leaving the past in the past. And I guess that's part of the forgiveness, forgiving myself bit, is also to forgive the past, leave the past in the past, and then start taking responsibility in this area as well for myself. Yeah. So this is where I'm at now, and these are some of the issues that I'm looking into and dealing with and trying to solve. And I mention it because it might be relevant for you too, and you might have some experiences with these things. So maybe this video can be of some kind of help or inspiration. Maybe if you leave comments below, they can help out me in this situation that I'm dealing with. But anyway, I really look forward to it. I think it's a breakthrough just to realize how all of this is connected and what all of these feelings were actually about for me, and to realize that I can do something about it, and that it's about change, right? And allowing that change, and also feeling and accepting that it's you know, a bit nerve-wracking because I need to change things, and that might stir up, that might rattle the cage with some people. So I might get some responses that I'm not prepared for. But I'd rather do that and be surprised, and than not. I mean, then continue as before, right? I want to rattle the cage. But of course, I guess with everything, whenever you change something, there's some insecurity and some fear. And a part of me is definitely afraid that I'm doing the right thing, but I know that I'm not, and that I need to do this. I need to prioritize myself and not leave it to other people how I am going to feel, right? It's not other people's responsibility, and I don't want to give them that power. I want to be, in that sense, in control of my life and decide for myself. So I guess what I'm trying to say in all of this is that I look forward to the change, and I allow myself to change. That it's part of it's part of creating a better life, is also the part of creating a better me or a new me. And in that, I need to change to do that. So it's a good thing, and I look forward to it. And I hope you'll follow me on the journey. Yeah. So I think that's it. Have a great day and take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.